This is a new maritime alternative for Colombia's international trade and the shipping lines which use the port of Buenaventura. A new model of world-class port administration is being installed on Colombia's Pacific coast. The container terminal at Buenaventura, TCBUEN, is strengthening the country's logistical competitiveness for the increasing flow of international trade. Buenaventura is located on the Pacific coast in the west of Colombia and moves 44% of the country's cargo. Buenaventura is located as well close to the country's main production centers, in which 70% of the country's internal production is concentrated and 50% of its population lives. At the new terminal, the challenges presented by logistical operations are met with a full quota of resources. Here, driver's operations are pre-programmed. When he arrives at the port, he must identify himself biometrically. From the moment the vehicle approaches the terminal, it is registered by an optical container recognition system called OCR, in which the vehicle's plate number and the container number are identified using a camera. It then records the arrival of the vehicle, checks the arrival schedule, and then allows the vehicle to enter, all without the intervention of personnel. To enable the driver to automatically enter the port using the biometric identification system on which the port's control system depends, this one must ensure that the driver, plate number, and the container correspond to the arrival reservation data. This is the security protocol to be followed before entry is permitted. Next comes the weigh-in, which is a dynamic system which recognizes the cargo and does not need the driver to leave the cabin. Instructions for the placement of the cargo are given to the driver in the cabin, and at the same time a modern X-ray system inspects the cargo without any risk for the driver or the cargo. The trucks continue along a 4-line highway, at the end of which there is an inspection warehouse for imported cargo containers. And on the right, a warehouse for export cargo inspection, where goods selected by the authorities are taken away, inspected, and then returned to their containers with constant supervision of the officials in charge. This, as well as all other activities carried out in the terminal, is filmed and monitored by a closed-circuit camera system which allows continuous supervision of each container, keeping a record of all activities carried out for a period of 1 year. Finally, the container is unloaded in the yard where the RTG carries out the operation in accordance with the instructions of the Argos Terminal Control Program. The containers are then stored in an organized manner, bearing in mind the sequence of shipping and inspection shifts. The port has modern cargo cranes which are able to handle post-Panamax ships and 220-feet containers simultaneously. Containers are identified and their numbers made known to the control system using the OCR, Optical Container Recognition System. This new terminal will be available to shipping lines in November 2010.